Remember that I recollect that the class of 72 took up the responsibility of removing all the debris that were generated when structures were demolished at the college. This job has been accomplished. I can confidently tell you that we are dealing with a mission accomplished. Where we are now, actually I should be able to give you a riddle. Can anybody tell me where cousin's house was? Can anybody tell me where Wareham house was, or where extension house was? Last time we saw the debris being removed. Now the whole of the space is open. You can see in open fields, open grounds. We have buried all of that. We have thrown over it the red earth that was excavated. And what is there now is openness. What they're looking at, all of that space that took cousin's house, Wareham house, extension house. We've removed all that. Anybody driving into the college will not be confronted with any eyesore. Nothing that will be a bad sight to deal with. The heap of chippings you're seeing here is from those constructing the roads for their gutter. They're already using the ground. It's now clean and neat for them to be able to move into and walk. A while ago we saw some students walking across the whole lawn, the whole ground around former cousin's house area. The place is now clean, it is now neat, it's now tidy. What remains is for it to be grassed, and then the memories of those houses will be eternally wiped away. It's where the old library used to be, behind the corridor between A block and the assembly hall. If you stay here now, you can see through all down to almost the main gate. Everything that was a structure, everything that was debris blocking view have all been moved and buried. The technical workshop, the wood workshop, the metal workshop, all the structure behind the A block, behind the Erekosima house, behind the dining, you can see is a flowing openness. From here, if you look now, you can see cars on the road beyond the fence. All of that is now visible because the rubbles, debris have all been buried by the class of 72, cleaned out. Before the rains are over, you will not be seeing any topsoil. Grass, bush will have taken over. We don't want it to be wild bush. We're going to take time and plant up good grass that can give us fine view of lawn behind the whole of this place until there are things to be done around them. But all of those structures, gentlemen, are gone. The task that the class of 72 took upon itself to make sure that all those debris are buried. We've all had it accomplished and realized. You can see now openness, the whole of it. Here we are behind the Fisher house, C block, and beside the block A. Again, you see a level ground. When we are here to capture the mounds, you couldn't see much of a Fisher house. and the lower part of a C block. All of that is open now to the foundations. You can see them because the debris are gone. All of that. Continue the whole of Kent House rubbles are gone. You can see the dining hall clearly now without any obstruction down to the curb walkway in front of it. All of that is open. Through beside it to the fence, all of those structures that were there are gone. And across the dining hall road, the Kent House beside Nye House is also buried. All of that is now open. You can see down to schoolhouse. You can see new house being reconstructed. You can see Nye House without any obstruction. Where Kent House was before is now bare ground. Everything is being buried underground. Mission accomplished. Class of 72 of Government College Umuahia. The stump you see there of tree is degradable material. It won't be buried because it will decay and cause a sinking. So it's going to be harvested as wood. There are many people who are hassling for it. They will PCC it, remove it. It's no problem. We are now behind the dining hall. We had two structures here they were demolished. I can also give you a quiz. Who can tell me where those structures were located? They have all been demolished and buried. So from here, you can see through to Assembly Hall. All of that is now open, ready for grassing. Right, where we are now is behind B block. We showed you some rubbles from a building that was demolished. All of that has also been buried. And you can see the security men are now enjoying the environment under the palm tree beside it. They don't have any bad sight to confront anymore. So all of that has been cleaned up. And before the rains go, the grass will take over. And there will be no such thing again left here. Like I pointed out when we were doing the work in action, there was a lot of collaborative work that went on. What you here see now is the last gate of the college. All of that has had to be demolished because those doing road said they need to have the place free because the road will run from the college and join the Umudike road. So as part of our collaborative work, we use our equipment to dismantle the gate. And what you see here are the pillars and the former gates that have all been moved out of the way. This was not originally in our work, in our schedule of work, but with the equipment of ground and we knowing that we are working for ourselves, we agreed to do it so as to enhance the work of the road construction. That extra work we did as a class, which was not there, which in the spirit of collaboration and moving the project forward we had to do, there was this dilapidated structure behind the chemistry lab. We had to now knock it down and level the place. You can see it's now a clean place. And the road you're seeing here is the road that leads to the staff quarters. If you remember the staff quarters behind the chemistry lab, all of that place, it was badly eroded, particularly where I'm standing now. So the debris from this structure we used to fill up to get a smoother thing. Eventually it will be tarred. Though those who are living there now can now have a road to mark. And we have done a little bit of earthwork to smoothen it and to widen up to join the main school drive. So you can do it. All of these were things we took advantage of our equipment being on ground and the FEGT people appealed to us as something that needed to be done, and we gladly added it to what we had to do as a class. So when they come to tar the road, to become easier for them to move and realize the work. You can see it hitting the main drive, and the building there is block B block, which is under renovation. The final stages of the renovation. You see a new roof it is wearing. They are putting up the windows and the doors. Tile work is going on there, which you can see from outside here. This is also targeted to be ready before the end of this month, July. It will be in place. Gentlemen, that is what class of 72 undertook to do, and we can confidently and boldly tell you that we have accomplished our task. We can now move into the next stage of the actual landscaping and the beautification with plants and flowers in all of these sites. That's the next task that is before the class. And the same way we're able to do it, God helping us, we'll also realize it.